News 46 is brought to you by Inspiration Senior Living, where we provide affordable elegance to Pahrump area seniors. Give us a call at 751-2300 and make an appointment to tour our community. News is also brought to you by Bees Embroidery and Garment Printing, specializing in custom and personalized decoration of gifts, garments, and more. Call 775-727-9444. News is also brought to you by J.K. Nelson Law. Call 727-9900 today for your free consultation. If you need a lawyer, you need Nelson.
Tonight on News 46, a new VA clinic will be breaking ground soon. Sheriff Worley talks about new street deputies, and a special guest is speaking at the museum. News 46 starts now.
You're watching KPVM News 46 with Monique Mitchell. Local coverage from Deanna O'Donnell. News 46, local coverage you can count on.
Good evening. It's Wednesday, August 5th, 2015. I'm Monique Mitchell for News 46. Well, Senator Harry Reid's office announced that the Department of Veterans Affairs has signed the long-awaited contract with the Pahrump Veterans Clinic. The move means that the VA can lease a 10,000 usable square foot space for the approximately 6,000 veterans we have in our area. The clinic groundbreaking will offer mental health care, primary care, social work, laboratory services, and telehealth. The 18-month proposed construction period near the hospital at Basin Avenue and Lola Lane will cost about $12 million. They are scheduling a groundbreaking in the next few weeks. Well, 3 new deputies are on the streets of Pahrump. We caught up with Sheriff Sharon Worley to find out more.
We had a graduation last Saturday, and we had 3 in that class, and then there were 3 other people that also graduated, but they're non-affiliate.
Yeah. So they pay for their own training in hopes that once they graduate, they can get a job elsewhere, apply wherever they would like.
Absolutely. About the 2 weeks in, they start applying in various areas.
So these 3 that we had graduate are on the streets here in Pahrump?
Yes, actually all 3 of them are going to be assigned to Pahrump.
And they are replacing what deputies? The ones that we sent up north, or deputies that were retired? Or
mostly deputies that retired or left because they got other jobs.
how many do we have on the streets now in Nye County?
Actually, here in Pahrump we have about 19.
Wow.
And so we're down quite a bit. We should have 33.
And that doesn't account for all the salaried detectives and all them?
Actually, no, it doesn't. That's just the patrol response team.
Thanks so much.
A man wielding a gun, a hatchet, and pepper spray was killed inside a Tennessee movie theater today after police responded to reports of an active shooter in the theater. Nashville police said that one moviegoer was cut on a shoulder by a hatchet before police officers killed the 51-year-old suspect as he tried to go out the back door. The wounded man had a superficial injury to his arm. 2 others suffered irritation from the pepper spray. The suspect was reportedly wearing a surgical mask and carried 2 backpacks into the theater. Coming up after the break, find out new ways doctors are trying to find heart disease.
This portion of the news is brought to you by Inspiration Senior Living, where we provide affordable elegance to Pahrump area seniors. Give us a call at 751-2300 and make an appointment to tour our community.
Welcome back to News 46. Well, the first signs of heart disease for many people is when they experience a heart attack. Patients with diabetes are at higher risk for developing heart disease, but may not show any outward signs or symptoms. A new study examined whether undergoing a screening CT to look for heart disease or just standard medical management is better for long-term outcomes.
This health tip is brought to you by
Desert View Hospital and Mountain Valley Physicians Group. Don't put your health on hold. We have time for you. Call us to schedule your appointment. 775-751-7100.
Michael McPhee has type 2 diabetes. Having heart disease never really entered his mind until he received a phone call from his doctor.
Dr. Muhlstein called me and said, "You've had a silent heart attack," and it came as quite a shock and quite a surprise because I had absolutely no symptoms.
That brings up the question is, should we start screening patients who don't have heart disease or evidence of heart disease but are at risk for it?
Dr. J. Brent Muhlstein from the Intermountain Medical Center Heart Institute in Salt Lake City and co-authors randomly assigned 900 older patients with diabetes who showed no signs or symptoms of heart disease to either screening CT coronary angiogram or standard medical care for diabetes. Patients were followed for an average of 4 years to see which group experienced more deaths, heart attacks, or hospitalizations for unstable angina.
We expected 8% per year to have one of those major primary events. Whether they were in the control arm or in the randomized scanning arm, only less than 2% had an adverse event each year. In these patients, 70% of them had at least some evidence of coronary artery disease by the screening study. That was more than we expected. All of those who were found to have significant coronary disease were recommended to go on more aggressive medical management.
Dr. Muhlstein says patients found to have severe heart disease did undergo bypass surgery or stenting when indicated.
This study just emphasizes that it's not necessary to screen these asymptomatic patients with expensive screening tests like CT coronary angiography. It is, however, extremely imperative that these patients receive aggressive, guideline-based optimal medical therapy.
Michael is receiving that medical care and is monitoring every aspect of his health.
I've obviously tried to improve my diet, mostly for the diabetes aspect, but knowing that it'll help with the heart problem as well.
Catherine Dolph, The JAMA Report.
Well, all Intermountain patients in both arms of the study were already receiving guideline-based care because of a special diabetes management program at that medical center. Well, the Nye County School District is pleased to welcome a new principal. Mr. Dennis Schertz has successfully applied for and has been selected as the principal for Tonopah High School and Duckwater Schools beginning with the 2015-2016 school year. Mr. Schertz brings 29 years of experience in education with him from Wisconsin, where he also coached football, baseball, and track. Schertz replaces Alvin Eisman, who is currently working at the district office on West Street after moving to Pahrump from Tonopah. Eisman is under investigation pending the results from the district attorney's office of open and gross lewdness. Eisman is not working with children at this time, according to Superintendent Dale Norton. Eisman was arrested and booked into the Tonopah Detention Center in February after 2 teen students reported the 57-year-old touched them at school. Police investigated the reports and found probable cause to arrest him. And it has been 515 days since the 239 people aboard missing Malaysia Airlines Flight 370 did not return home. A piece of debris found last week on a French island in the Indian Ocean now gives very strong presumptions that the part belongs to the Boeing 777 and that is a part of Malaysia Airlines Flight 370, though more testing needs to be done. The findings may give some clue as to exactly where the plane crashed and what caused the plane to vanish March 8th of 2014. If confirmed, the part would be the first piece of physical evidence recovered from the Malaysia jetliner. Well, Sally Kerr from the Pahrump Valley Chamber of Commerce talks about stage entertainment at this year's Fall Festival. Our own Deanna O'Donnell will be joined with Maria Hurst as the master of ceremonies once again with her crew, Darby O'Donnell and Jason Koblenz.
Fall Festival is September 24th through the 27th.
And the parade is when?
The parade is the 26th on that Saturday morning.
Right at 9 o'clock going up Highway 160 from, I believe, Dandelion all the way up there to Boot Hill, right?
That's correct.
So the parade, we invite everybody to come out and join that, get involved in that. But we also have some things going on off the stage in Petrick Park that whole weekend.
We do. Of course, we have that stage runs all weekend long. So the whole time that the festival is open, there's live entertainment of some sort running on that stage, and we'll have schedules out of what that entertainment is. But some of that's going to be our local folks. Some of that we've included a few things this year that we've added to. One is a pet contest. And so we are going to come up with all kinds of designations. We want the cutest pet, the best dressed pet, the most unusual pet. We'll come up with, quite a few designations of pets and want them to bring them to Petrick Park at noon on Saturday, the 26th, to be judged.
And so you can bring any type of animal, hopefully that's safe for the public. You kind of worry about what you're saying there. But any type of animal that you can bring on down to the park for this competition, and of course we'll let everybody know closer to the date what those actual competitions are.
Right. We'll come up with what those designations are, but anything you bring, I'm certain will fit into one of them.
Yeah.
And of course, besides the safety issue, we would love to see a huge array of different kinds of pets. So everything from the little ones, hamsters, to someone's dog dressed as Abe Lincoln. I mean, you could go anywhere you want to with that, and we'll have lots of fun designations to include everyone.
And then is there a fee to enter that contest?
There is not a fee to enter that contest.
But you're going to be giving out little awards, right?
Yeah, we'll find some awards that are suited for pets, and the pets will be the winners.
And then also there's a talent competition?
There is. We're going to have a talent competition on Sunday. Sunday's going to be kind of our family day. We're gearing toward that. And so we will have an adult and kids talent competition on Sunday afternoon in the park.
Wonderful. And any kind of talent that you want to get involved with, you can sign up at the Fall Festival headquarters right inside the park during the Fall Festival, right?
Yes, that's correct. You can sign up clear up until the event.
And what time is that again?
I think that is at 2 o'clock Sunday afternoon. Again, that'll be in the posted schedule, but if you gear to Sunday afternoon, it's either 1 or 2 o'clock.
All ages?
All ages and all talents.
For more information, give the Pahrump Valley Chamber of Commerce a call.
Yes, 727-5800.
And now here's Phil Huff from the Pahrump Valley Historical Museum to tell us about who is this Saturday's guest lecturer.
Hi, this is Phil from the Pahrump Valley Museum. I wanted to invite you to our next lecture in our annual lecture series. It's this coming Saturday. It's the 8th of August. It's at 1 p.m. The museum is located on Basin Avenue between 160 and Blagg. We want to invite you to come and see our guest lecturer, Michael Vogel. Michael Vogel is a member of the museum's board of directors. He's also a scientist, and he's going to lecture on the geologic and hydrologic history of the Pahrump Valley. If this sounds too scientific, don't let it scare you. You'll find it very interesting. It will be the history of how the valley was formed and how it's done over the ages and how it is today. You also may like to know that Michael Vogel was employed as the head geology engineer at Yucca Mountain. This isn't the subject of his speech, but whether you're pro or con Yucca Mountain, you might find this an interesting opportunity to have a discussion after his lecture about Yucca Mountain and ask some questions. I'm sure he'll answer. So we'll look forward to seeing you on Saturday. That's 1 o'clock. If you need any information, call 751-1970. See you there. Thank you.
Well, folks, keep it here because we're going to have more local news for you after these messages.